Good day everyone, and welcome to this presentation on Suleiman the Magnificent. Though often forgotten in the pages of history, save the occasional AP student learning about the Ottoman Empire, Suleiman was one of the greatest leaders of the 16th century. Let's get started. Suleiman was born in 1494 as the only son to his father, Sultan Selim I. In 1511, he was appointed governor of Kaffa in Crimea. He was only 17. In September 1520, he ascended to the place of his father as Sultan. Almost instantly, the man started his conquest against the powers in the west. 1521 rolled around and he attacked the city of Belgrade. In fact, a large portion of his victory was due to help from the outside. Orthodox helped him conquer the city, claiming they would rather be under Muslim rule. The fort was turned over to Suleiman, and the helpers were relocated near Istanbul. This was Suleiman's first great victory. He achieved what his great-grandfather Mehmed II couldn't. Later on, in 1522-23, he attacked the Greek city of Rhodes, which had been under the rule of the Knights of St. John for quite some time. He was able to take the city by the Third Truce, at only 7,000 to 100,000. In the wake of his two marvelous victories, Suleiman's next target was the Hungarian city of Mohacs. In August of 1526, the battle took place, with Suleiman undoubtedly emerging as the victor. Not only had he won, but also had killed Louis II in battle, leaving the Hungarian throne empty. There were two options for the new king, Ferdinand I, a Habsburg, János Zápolya, Lord of Transylvania, who was opposed to Habsburg rule. Suleiman put Zápolya in rule, agreeing to recognize him as a vassal king. After his victory in Hungary, Suleiman set out to undo himself yet again and laid siege to Vienna. However, weather, lack of supplies, and the resistance of the Christians eventually led him to raise the siege. After a while, Suleiman realized Austria could not be taken in one fell swoop, and agreed to a truce with Archduke Ferdinand in 1533. Zápolya's death in 1540 ushered in the swift reconquering of Hungary by Austrian forces. Suleiman's pushback in 1541 and 1543 had three different Hungaries emerge, one being Habsburg Hungary, Ottoman Hungary, and third under control of John Sigismund, son of Zápolya. Not only was Suleiman taking control of Europe and leading conquests there, he was also leading a brilliant campaign against Persia. In 1534-35, the Ottomans gained control over Erzurum in East Asia Minor, a campaign started by his father. The second campaign, from 1548 to 1549, brought a territory around Lake Van under Ottoman control. The third, however, in 1554 to 1555, was a bit of a failure. However, it was a good situation for Suleiman because he learned the Safavid state was not easily subdued, but he learned this without crushing defeat. A formal signing for peace happened in 1555. Throughout his successes outside of his empire, it's not to go unsaid that he had multiple achievements in his empire. One of his chief ministers was Ibrahim Rustem, who was a slave boy and a playmate with Suleiman in their younger years. Throughout his life, Suleiman built strong fortresses in places he had taken from the Christians, and Islamified the cities by building mosques. Other constructions included aqueducts and bridges. He transformed the Byzantine city of Constantinople into Istanbul, a beautiful center for the Ottoman Empire. Suleiman was also a great patron of the arts, and loved poetry in particular. He would often write poetry, hence why we have so much of his words today. Before his death, he wanted to attempt to conquer the Austrian city of Vienna once more, but died on the way there.
Thanks, Josh. He's got some cool history. Now, on to his cultural, artistic, and religious impact on the Ottoman Empire and around him. And what better way to analyze a guy than read some of his poetry? This one is devoted to his wife. Throne of my lonely niche, my wealth, my love, my moonlight, my most sincere friend, my confidant, my very existence, my sultan, the most beautiful among the beautiful, my springtime, my merry-faced love, my daytime, my sweetheart, laughing leaf, my plants, my sweet, my rose, the one only who does not distress me in this world, my Istanbul, my Karaman, the earth of my Anatolia, my Badakashanmi Baghdad, my Khorasan, my woman of the beautiful hair, my love of the slanted brow, my love of the eyes full of mischief. I'll sing your praises always, I, lover of the tormented, Muhibi of the eyes full of tears, I am happy. Right, well, very beautiful. Basically, he loves his wife and it means the world to him. Anyway, religious development. I think it's almost to go without saying that he had a huge impact on religion, mainly because he was a Muslim ruling one of the biggest empires in the world. Like Josh explained, a whole bunch of churches in Christian cities were converted to mosques in predominantly Muslim cities. Actually, the Hagia Sophia was converted into a mosque at this time. In terms of philosophy and culture, it was Suleiman who ushered in the Golden Ottoman Age, in which arts and philosophy are expanded. So I guess at this point you could wonder, well, sure, he was cool and all like that back in the day, but what's it mean for us today? I'm glad you asked. For one, what's the city you fly through on your way to literally anywhere in the West? What? Sorry, I can't hear you. Constantinople? Wrong, you wistful Byzantine. It's Istanbul. Suleiman. Some stuff you may have never heard of also includes mosques such as the Selimiye Mosque, the Sulaimaniye Mosque, and the Rustam Pasha Mosque, all Suleiman. Actually, his architect Mimar Sinan, but same thing at this point. But he didn't just build mosques, he built the Maglova Aqueduct, the Old Bridge, and many, many more. I guess it just goes to show that if you're a mostly tolerant leader in a land just itching to do something grand that'll last throughout the ages, things work out. Now, back to ethics, knowledge, and relationships. For one, Suleiman was super knowledgeable. He knew his enemy and how to defeat it. For relationships, good relationships with other leaders make millions of people prosper. Or, I guess, for this instance, just not die. Anyway, thanks for watching.